So, welcome back to lesson 6 of the EFT mini course. Up until this point, we have covered a number of topics, for example, overwhelm, getting stuck, and the sense of self-esteem has been covered in previous lessons. But in today's lesson and the lessons to follow, we're going to be looking at more, I would say, serious areas which definitely do affect people's lives in a more specific way rather than a general sort of stress kind of way. But stress is always the underlying cause of most of these emotional blockages. Today's topic is dealing with anger. Of course, anger for a lot of people is a sense of being out of control. It's a sense of reacting to situations rather than responding to them. But of course, we know that in life, anger doesn't solve anything. It builds nothing, and in fact it can destroy everything. So you've got to be really careful with your words, because once they're out there, they're seldom forgotten. You can forgive them, but very rarely can you forget them altogether. And so we're going to be looking at how EFT can be helpful in diffusing those build-ups in anger, resentment, a sense of wanting to get your own back on someone or some situation, which we know we would label as revenge, or you've had a really bad day and you've had some bad feelings towards a particular person in your workplace. I mean, these are all common things that affect us day in, day out. And unchecked, uncontrolled, undealt with, if you like, if that's such a word, you will find that will build up as some kind of, well, it's like drinking poison but expecting the other person to die. It only affects you, and it will build up and it will fester, and ultimately it's going to lead to stress, which again, long-term can lead to all kinds of health complications. So it's good to get rid of anger. And let's face it, the world that we live in, we're constantly bombarded with stimuli that cause us to feel angry. Facebook, Twitter, all these kinds of things that we're aware of, and we see comments being made, and we're bombarded with negative sentiments. It's just the world we live in. So it's important that you learn how to monitor your own emotions as frequently as possible, so that they always stay in check. So we're going to be starting today with the karate chop point around the area of anger. And of course, all of this is now familiar to you. And if it's not, then you can revisit all the previous lessons as discussed many times before. So, as we start to breathe, and we can tap while we're breathing in through the nose, assuming that you have anger, calibrate it and think about how high your anger level is. And remember, it doesn't have to be for something current. It may be something you're holding on to that you would like to release, maybe give a chance to forgive somebody or forget some situation or event. And just say to yourself, even though I am so angry and agitated when I think about X, I realize that this feeling will pass, and that I can either choose to react to this and increase the problem, or I can choose to respond to it by just slowing down and taking a step back and regaining that control. I feel so emotionally overwhelmed. I don't feel that I'm to blame for this. I feel out of control. This is not my fault. I'm merely a victim. These events are so unfair. I want to strike out. I want to fight. Recalibrate. But wait, is there another way? I could choose to respond, not react, and be calmer now. I can be calmer now, if I choose. I can learn to treat things more rationally. Realize I'm being hijacked by my emotional, chimp-like brain. Maybe everything isn't what it seems. When I breathe, I can see that. There are two sides to every situation. I have the power to restore this balance now. Recalibrate. I am taking time to slow down and breathe, and it feels so much better. I'm allowing my rational brain to take control back from my emotional brain. Responding to this situation or this person, and I'm not reacting. I will create the space I need to restore this calm, collected, controlled feeling for the good of everything and everyone around me. I will communicate my feelings only when I know, subconsciously, that I'm fully calm again. I feel the calm, collected and controlled feelings returning more and more. And I can notice that now. I value every opportunity to learn from this experience. And to just move on. I am at peace. I am in control. I can and will restore balance. Now remember, you can repeat the cycle as many times as you like, but once you've recalibrated and you feel like you've brought this situation back to a place where it's manageable, then simply close the loop. Eyes closed, take in a nice deep breath. I choose peace now. And that's it. That's the cycle for EFT and anger management. Now, again, this is a case of you do this as many times as is necessary for you to see some shifts. So see some shifts in your emotions. And what I get fed back to me is that sometimes it takes more than one go, and that's absolutely right. That's how this process actually works. So don't give up straight away on that first round, because it may take a number of attempts before you actually start to see the shift. So coming tomorrow, we are going to be moving on to another popular area, which is the area of craving. Now, cravings can be anything from craving around chocolate to possibly cigarettes or alcohol. And this particular technique is one of the many techniques that I use in my practice just to keep things in check and in balance. So if you would like to participate in that one, then I look forward to you joining me tomorrow. So this is David Ferratian, and for today, have a great day.